Hi, I'm Ramona,
I'm Steven.
and this is Blue, and we are Less Lights, More Stars. We just wanted to get on and say hi to everybody and introduce ourselves a little bit and tell you kind of how we got into full-time RVing.
Back in 2021, we decided that we wanted to change things up. My job position became a remote position, and we couldn't really do a lot of traveling before because my wife has some medical issues that make it hard to travel, especially on planes and stuff. So in 2021, we did a lot of research and we decided, you know what, let's do this RV thing or let's full-time RV. We looked into it before and we did more research, and that's what we decided. So we had a house before back in Denver. That's where we lived at originally. It was a nice big house. Took a lot of work to really downsize from where we were, right?
Yeah, we had 4 levels. It was, 3,092 square feet.
Yep.
Full basement. I had my full photography studio and his office set up in there. So we knew that we had a big long road ahead of us to be able to downsize to where we needed to go to fit everything into an RV.
So we got it all done. Took a whole year to get there. Most of it she had to do because if I had my way, I'd just walk in and be like, yeah, I don't remember using most of the stuff, so I guess we don't need any of it. But she went through or reorganized all of it, decided what's going, what's staying. And we got ourselves a 10 by 10. We basically marked off in our house, here's a 10 by 10 space. Everything needs to fit in here. Took care of that. We got it done. And last April, we went and took it all to South Dakota, where we decided that we'll domicile at for our new state. So we moved it all up there, got that done. And then we went back down to Denver to sell our house in May.
Yep. What didn't fit in the storage unit didn't come with us. We ended up having back-to-back yard sales for 3 different weekends and
Yep.
sold everything that we possibly could and found good places to donate the rest to charities, schools, and local thrift stores. So we knew that was going to people in need. And
yeah, we got really lucky when we sold the house because it's right before things started getting harder and harder to sell your house. So we got it sold before all those really big difficulties came along. Got it sold. We left in May. The end of May is when we sold it. We wrapped it up and got really good offers, and then got that taken care of. Left late May. Went back up to South Dakota, took care of some things there real quick, and drove over to Oregon where our kids were, and then waited there for a long time. How many months was it? Till November, right?
Till November, yeah. But in Colorado, while we were planning on everything, we went to tons of RV shows, different truck dealerships, did a bunch of research on what kind of RV we wanted, what kind of truck we wanted, what we knew we needed for him to be able to still have an office space for full-time working, and for me to be able to have a place to be able to do my work as well. So we did a lot of research, watched a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah, I think the only rule we had for ourselves was I needed to be able to work because I still work full time. So as long as I could do my job, that's really the important part. So we made a lot of decisions around that and how we could make it work and stuff. Like you said, the size that we needed for an RV to make it work.
And the truck. We went up to South Dakota right after we sold the house in May and ended up ordering the truck from a dealership there. We weren't able to find any trucks on any dealership lots that met all the specifications that we wanted to be able to tow our home. So we just put in an order and got everything that we wanted put in it, so we knew that we would have all the specifications for towing our big home, for comfort, for everything that we needed.
Yeah, so we knew it would probably take 3 to 5 months, so that's why we decided to go back to Oregon, because before we went to Denver for 5-6 years there, that's where we were at before then. Plus, like I said, our kids were there, we have a little bit of family there. So we went back, or after we ordered the truck, we went back there hoping 3 to 5 months. They were telling us it was feeling more like maybe they've been doing, 2 to 4 months?
2 to 4 months.
Yep, so we were like, oh, maybe we'll get lucky and get it earlier. But we had in our mind, we knew that it could take a lot longer. So we're just hoping for the best. So we're in while we were in Oregon, though, we did decide to go ahead and get our RV or find it and get that taken care of.
Then we had the obstacle of figuring out where we were going to be able to park our RV without having our tow vehicle, because we didn't realize what a problem that was going to be.
It's really difficult to find an RV park that'll let you put your RV there without a tow vehicle, which is understandable. I mean,
and Oregon has tons of tsunami zones, so that was a big thing. But a lot of people were saying, if there was ever an issue or if there was ever a fire, or people needed to be evacuated without us having our tow vehicle, it would be impossible to be able to move our home in time.
Yeah, but we did come across, we actually decided, we found the RV we wanted, got all that taken care of before we could find a place to put it. But we were looking at the option to just throw it in storage if we had to. But even storage was becoming kind of difficult at that time to find some place to put it. But we took care of that, got it done.
We did find a new park that was getting established, and they allowed us to stay there for the time being, gave us a really nice spot. We had full hookups, water, sewer, and electric while we were there.
Yep, it worked really well for what we were looking for, and for a last minute place, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. So then that happened, and then finally
we got the dealership to actually tow the RV down to the site that we were staying at, since we didn't have our truck. So that was really nice that they did that for us.
Yeah, so now we had our RV, we're living in it, getting used to it, getting things undone, repacked and organized in here for what we did have. Unfortunately, because of the timing and how all that worked, we had to buy some extra dishes and things that we had put in storage that we were waiting for, hoping that things would work out differently. But oh well, it is what it is. Just gotta work with it. But then after that, we finally got a little bit more word on the truck. It finally got built. We finally got the build date on that through their website for Ram, and got more information on when we could expect it. They're trying to tell us early November. But then after it got built, we had to wait another full 2 months, because apparently once it's built, I mean, that was a good little
It was just
nice
hanging out
wait.
in Mexico for a while.
It decided it wanted a vacation in Mexico, so the truck took another 2 months before it finally shipped, because they were just having so many shipping issues trying to get it out of there. But then when it shipped, I basically took off. We took off time from work. We heard about it on a Monday, which was a whole week earlier than we thought it was going to be available. And by that time, it was like first week in November.
Sweet.
And we got told that Monday, hey, truck's ready. It showed up over the weekend, just found out it's here, ready to go. I was like, okay, cool. We'll leave tomorrow to start heading out there and drive out there, just grab a rental vehicle. But I got a little antsy, and I was like, made a quick phone call. I was like, hey, look, I can get a rental vehicle in a couple hours, so how do you feel? Ready to go? Like right now? Because I kind of want to go get it and get this done with.
So we packed up and hit the road.
Yeah, but there were some really cold nights and freezing nights in Oregon by that time, so really didn't want to stay there any longer with our RV. Didn't want to deal with trying to get through the border for California and Oregon to deal with the pass. Didn't want to get stuck there with snow and stuff. So we drove straight through a good day, about 14, 16 hours. And it wasn't that great of a trip, because a storm had just come through in front of us. So we had to drive through the aftermath of all that.
Snow and ice all over the roads.
Yeah, but the good thing is the roads were good enough where we could actually do the entire drive and not get stuck someplace or not get held up. So we were able to make it straight through. It was just questionable in a lot of areas, like, oh, what's it going to be like? But we did get that done, got there. When we got to Rapid City, it was snowing. It was actually the worst place we got to.
Bad storm.
Yeah, but we got there.
Straight to the dealership.
Oh yes, straight to the dealership.
Took care of us there.
Got the truck taken care of. Went through several hours of doing all that, which was good, because we were glad they took their time with us, and they were there. They stayed late with us and everything to make sure we got everything taken care of. And we got that done, and then turned around. Drove down to Denver first, because we had a couple things in our daughter's storage down there, because she had a storage down there. So we had a couple things we went on to grab that were ours out there. So we grabbed all that.
And we grabbed our stuff in South Dakota too, some of it.
Yeah, we were able to get some of it out of there. And then we drove straight from Denver straight back through to Oregon. Oh man, that was a long drive too, but we got that done. A lot more driving than I wanted to do right away, but we got it done. It gave us a good time with the truck too, to get used to it, to get a feel for it, because much bigger truck, probably the biggest truck. It is the biggest truck I've ever owned. But got the truck, and then from there, it really came down to, we got there on we got back on a Monday, huh? Or Sunday. Sunday or Monday we got back, and I'd already, before we left the week before, made an appointment for the hitch to be installed from a local shop in town. So, and they needed time to order the hitch anyways to get it in. But they ordered it. We got there. I was able to get it installed
within a couple days.
Yep, that Thursday I think, and then that Saturday. That Saturday, we were like, hey, we're leaving. Yep, we loaded up, hitched up, and our goal was really like, we were really wanting to get down to Phoenix in time to visit family and spend Thanksgiving down here or down in Phoenix with family. So I mean, that was one of the main reasons for wanting to RV, right? To be able to see our family more often. So that's what we did. We were able to do a 2-night drive through. We had to go through California because it was kind of cold on the other side, going down through, say, Nevada. So we decided to go through California so we could avoid, just in case, any road conditions and stuff. Went straight down through and then cut on over directly into Phoenix, right? Or stopped at Lake Havasu. Yeah, forgot. That was one little stop we had because we had an extra day to burn, so we spent 2 nights there.
2 nights in Havasu.
And then we finished it off by getting over to Helibin. That's pretty sure that's how you say it because I get corrected all the time. Helibin. And stayed there for almost a month, where we were able to visit family in Phoenix every single weekend and be able to have Thanksgiving with them. So it was really nice. It was a lot of work. After
a lot of work.
5-6 months, it turned into a lot of work. But we prepared ourselves like, hey, it could take a long time. It could take I mean, honestly, I was prepared like it could take so long. It might be like through winter or midwinter or something until we got the truck. We were trying to prepare ourselves for it.
We still got to live in our RV during that time, which was really nice. We had it, about 4 months before we ended up getting the truck and being able to hit the road.
Yes, we did. And it was nice to get used to the RV, to figure out the quirks for things that we knew we needed to get changed, because there's definitely problems we came across.
Figure out the solar system and what was
figure out how it was wired.
It.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much research you do, there's still a lot you need to figure out because everyone's a little bit different. But we were able to take all this time to spend time trying to figure things out. We did determine pretty early, though, that we could definitely live in this small space, coming from such a huge house to smaller space. But that actually wasn't the hard part.
No, downsizing was hard. It did take me the full year to downsize and then try to figure out what we needed to fit in the space, pick out all the storage things we needed to make it more of a home than just, an RV. So we've had lots of time to adapt to that and figure out what we needed to make everything work here. We ended up having to do some modifications already and take out some things and add some things. And
yep, and then especially for me, it's kind of a little bit easier because I got my job and everything. My wife does photography, so for her it was more like figure out how we can do it from the road for her, how she can do all that. Definitely is a change, and there's work to be figured out on how to make it work.
We're still figuring it all out. I still do my photography and do a lot of nature and animal shots more than people, but I do have people along the way that we meet up with, so I can keep up with that. But I can do my work on the table, and he needed an office space for him. That was a big part in picking the RV for us, is that I wanted to make sure that I could still have the RV be my home and not just his place while working. So we made sure we got an extra bunk room so that we can shut the door, he can have his office meetings, all of his work stuff, and we can still wander around without having to be really quiet. So this RV, I think, has been perfect choice for us so far.
Yep, so far. I mean, I honestly don't think we could figure out a better one in this case. It's working out really well for us, and we're excited to spend a lot more time in it. And I mean, it's been about 2 months now. Is it 2 months? It feels like it is 2 months, huh? Since we finally left Oregon. So we'll have to see. We'll keep you updated though.
6 months in the RV, but only 2 months being able to travel so far.
Well, I think that covers everything.
Yeah. It pretty much says a little bit about us, but we have done lots of adventures before we were able to hit the road. Ventured all over Oregon. We've hit lots of amazing places in Arizona so far. And fell in love with South Dakota, moving there. And so we have lots and lots of things to share with you guys, but we just wanted to hop on and introduce ourselves real quick and say hello.
Yeah, so like she said at the very beginning, we're less lights, more stars.